What's good? Welcome back to the Pop Off Podcast. My name is Ralph Compiano. I'm your host. This is a conversation show about all of the biggest and best in sports, movies, and music. I'm joined by the Popcorn Boys today, my co-host Mike Cerroni, and Jack Turner and Skyler Riesberg. And today we're just kind of flowing. All right, we're going to do some popcorn picks. We're going to do some spits or some swallows. But there aren't any really big headlines that I wanted to touch first. I think the one thing that is kind of looming over the stratosphere of culture right now, the thing that I can't stop thinking about, the thing that we already talked about this week, but we have two guys on here who haven't shared their thoughts publicly as much on it, is Dune 2. This is sticking around in the culture more than any movie, I think, since Barbie and Oppenheimer, the Barbenheimer experience. It's kind of filling that role right now. It is the movie event of the year until I don't even know if Furiosa, the Mad Max sequel, will have this much traction in a couple of months. But right now, Dune Part Two, I can't escape it. So Turner, I wanted to get your thoughts on it because you've been reading the book. You just saw it recently, right? Like, you have been blessed in the spice. What's your experience been like?
I just got the book. Got it a while back.
Man.
So I was going to read it before I saw the first movie. Procrastinated all the way until the second movie was going to come out. So finished the book, saw the movie on Sunday, the first movie on Sunday, then went and saw it at my local movie theater, Music Box Theater. Got to put a plug in there. They got the organ player playing before the show starts. It's just an old school, old-timey theater. Just adds to the experience. Oh, yeah, you get all the movie nerds in there. It's a little bit more expensive, but worth it.
What is the organ player doing?
He's just being really cute up there, setting the vibe before it starts. He's an old man. You don't see a lot of young organ players anymore.
So there's no commercials. He's just playing organ, setting the vibe, ready for Dune.
So the only commercials they'll show are Music Box movies. So this theater will sponsor and help produce movies, and so they'll show previews for two different art house movies they're about to come out with. But before that, yeah, he's just banging it out. The last song he played was Sandman, Mr. Sandman, bring me your drink, which is a perfect, for Dune. So I think he picks songs that are,
that's true.
in line with what's going on. But I thought the movie was incredible. Just overall, one of those movies you want to see in theaters because the soundtrack is sweet. The visuals are unreal. This was in 70 millimeter film, which is extra cool as well. Yeah, love the movie. I will say, whenever you read a book that's a movie adaptation, in some weird ways, it almost took me out of the movie experience a little bit, just because you're noticing oh, that's different from the book, and the book was so fresh. I just finished it a few days ago, so that was a little bit different of an experience, maybe. Just I think the Chani storyline was probably the biggest one that's way different in the book than it is in the movie, and I understand why they made some of those changes. Something else I guess I'd call out that's interesting is in the book. Spoiler here, if you haven't seen the movie yet, maybe skip the next 30 seconds. But who kills the Baron in the book is actually Lady Jessica's daughter, who's 2 years old and can talk. But they're you know what, that might just be a little weird, having a 2-year-old running around speaking full sentences and then killing the Baron. That just probably would have played a little bit weird on the movie screen. So yeah, I hope they come out with a part 3. I just ordered the next book. There's 6 of them actually in the whole Dune series, which is insane, just the amount of content Frank Herbert, the author, was putting out. But I thought it was about as good of an adaptation as you can get, especially with the source material. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and they
so you
progressively
saw the first
get weirder.
One, right? You haven't seen the second one.
No,
yeah,
he saw the second movie, but he's read the first book.
The
first book is part 1 and part 2 in the movie. And apparently the books progressively get weirder and weirder. That point about Lady Jessica's daughter, the one that's baptized in the water of life while she's in her stomach, the one that Anya Taylor-Joy is going to play. David Lynch's Dune from 85 or 84. That's actually who kills Baron Harkonnen in that movie, and it is a walking baby and a talking baby. And Lynch, if you know anything about him, he loves that weird shit. So it looks really weird on the screen. I can't imagine it in Villeneuve's universe. So I'm glad that it was Timmy. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, when Anya Taylor-Joy popped up, I was like, holy shit, they got everybody for this movie. Yes. Especially on the actress's side. Every,
boner, didn't you?
Leia Sadu, Florence Pugh, Zendaya, just who's who.
Yeah. The
When I saw Anya, it almost took me out of it for a little bit, to be honest, just because we got all this star power so much. And then, like, I had heard she was going to be in it. You really can't escape you can't go into the movie blind, not knowing who the actors and actresses are going to be because of the whole red carpet rollout that they do. So there's really no surprises there. Like, you knew Josh Brolin's character was coming back. Could be other characters that come back. But after seeing all the star power and then they have that quick scene with her, there was a little bit, 5 seconds maybe, where I was like, this is too much. Now we got Anya Taylor-Joy coming in, and she probably had hair, but she looked bald. So definitely not turning anyone on, but that's just my 2 cents. Dude, she looked pretty bald. She had the big hood, so it's not like you could really tell what was going on.
Don't underestimate bald women, dude. Amber Rose is still hitting it.
She's doing it. She's continuing to do her thing, and she's good at it. Sure.
And I still wish I was hitting that, but I'm not. Mike, you saw Dune Part 2. Turner said before the call, big missed opportunity on your end, man. You had the opportunity to be. You said an Atreides, Turner. I could see Mikey as a Harkonnen. I could see him committing to the 4 hours of makeup.
Really?
Yeah,
dude, I would to
being one of Austin Butler's like little pets, the one that he slits the throat, or you could have been the guy that came up and gave him like the blades before his birthday.
Oh man, I would gladly, dude. I'd be the little mouse in that movie just to be in that movie. I don't care. That'd be insane. But yeah, I was pissed I wasn't on the pod when you guys were all talking about it. But I loved it, man. I mean, I don't know what really more else you want out of a movie. See it in theaters. I saw Dune 1 just on my TV right here. Still loved it, but seeing Dune 2 in theater, I mean, it is just fucking so much better because there's just so much action. The visuals are so crazy. It's just chilling. A couple takeaways. It's funny you said that there's going to be 6 more books. I see it as like a little mini like Harry Potter. Like it's going to keep going like this because I feel like it's going to keep going and go. There's so much storyline that it's almost like a Game of Thrones. Like they have a lot to unravel. Like Harry Potter, there's a lot like just these longer series. So it's good. There's 6 books. Hopefully they make. I mean, I made like 3, 4, 5 of them. That would be insane. And just all of the performances, like Chalamet, dude, just like this is what made him like a movie star. Like I just don't even know. I mean, you got to think that kid is just he's just filthy rich. He's like banging a Kardashian. He just has this movie where he looks like a stud through the whole 3 fucking hours. There's close-ups. His hair's blowing in the wind. He's fucking, of course he rides the worm. Of course he kills fucking Austin Butler. Of course he's just fucking killing it. But yeah, it was everything you wanted it to be. The soundtrack was absolutely nuts. The visuals, like I have that one, after Timmy drinks the water of life and he opens his eyes, that sound that was played when he opened his eyes, that like, it was like, it was lit, like, dude, it was, bro, it was nuts. Like the whole place was shaking. I loved it, man. It was, it's funny as like an actor, like I'm so jealous of like, you watch stuff like that and you're just like,
God damn it,
man, like if I could have had that role, and my time will come and it'll be even fucking better. But yeah, you just wish,
Dune Part 2. People are coming out of this movie and they're like comparing it to The Empire Strikes Back and The Godfather Part 2. But Mike's out here, he's like, my time will come and it will be better.
Listen, you will only go as far as you dream. So I'm
straight.
dreaming pretty damn far. But yeah, it's just like that is what this guy, this director, I really haven't heard too much about him before.
Yes, you have. Villeneuve, like we watched Sicario together. And that was like my biggest thing with
Sicario?
it. Oh, no, he's Sicario. He directed Sicario, Arrival, Prisoners, Blade Runner 2049. Like he's a master of the craft. Yeah, Villeneuve.
Good for Timmy though. He needed a little bit more street cred again after singing about chocolate and Wonka, which I loved him in. But it's nice to see like the duality of being able to play that kind of twinkie character versus the badass that is.
He's got it, man. I don't
think a lot of people saw Wonka.
I have still not seen Wonka, and I feel like I've seen every movie
I
under
thought
the
you
sun over
did,
the last year and a
at
half.
least. I thought we had a
have not.
50-50 here. Yeah, once I heard there was a lot of singing, I was kind of out on it. Not that I'm not a musical guy, but
I'm not a musical guy.
Wonka's
Yeah,
played
you don't
out.
want-
It's
no one's a
always
musical
weird
guy.
and creepy.
Yeah, and I
With
like
that
the
being
original
said, I'll
one.
see it.
Like I like the Wilder one, but and I saw the Johnny Depp one growing up. But on the point that you said, Mike, about franchising this, that's fascinating because when I think about this, and at least from what I've heard from like the people who have read the books, is that the story only gets progressively weirder. And that's what's amazing about this is it's already really weird. Like the fact that he's drinking lean and his mom is getting face tats, and there's like this whole Messiah storyline. Like it's very, it's so like Star Wars is like a family friendly franchise. Harry Potter, family friendly. So it made sense that they made all of that money. This is a pretty adult franchise for the most part. Like they're studying and exploring these themes of like religion and pride and ego.
Yeah, maybe not
and like
Harry
the things
Potter. It's not.
and like it draws more comparison. No, but I like what you're saying because it makes sense that it would go down that route, right? Because
I
like
feel like there's enough
the story is
plot
there
to make
Yes,
this really
100%.
Another 2-3 movies.
But like you need him, you need Villeneuve to do all of this. And I think I struggled before the first one had come out. I understood that it was part one and that there was going to be a part two. And I was kind of pissed because I was like, damn, that means we're not going to get another original Villeneuve story for however many years. And now I'm like, okay, now he's actually concepting 2 or 3 other movies that he might work on before part 3. And now it's the inverse. Now I'm like pissed. I'm like, dude, just give me Dune Part 3 now. Like, don't work on those 3 things.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be
this
a
balancing
while.
act. Like, I don't know what other director could do this. Like, if you're gonna hand this story over to another filmmaker, it has to be like Christopher Nolan. Like, I don't know any other guy that can work on this.
You also
scope.
got to think too, with that much, this goes into like the logistics of it. With that many star-studded cast members, you got to think, you got to cut out. I mean, they're going to be. You think Austin Butler, Timmy, Florence, they're going to have jobs lined up after this movie out the door. So you got to somehow take a chunk of that and get all of them in the same room for a couple months, which is hard to. I think it'll be a while, but I think also they all definitely want to come back and.
Yep, Zendaya said like I will drop everything and work with Villeneuve tomorrow if he asks me.
I mean,
to.
Look at that. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I'm also surprised. I thought Austin Butler, from the amount of praise you heard from, the initial critics and everything, I thought he was going to be in it a little bit more. And I actually didn't think he was going to die at the end. Cause now he's out, like it's done. I feel like that villain, almost like, it's almost like Voldemort. Like Voldemort didn't die in the second Harry Potter movie.
Right.
Like I know we're going back to Harry Potter, but it's like
the
all-time villain. Like I was like when he died,
all-time
I
villain?
thought for well, not
no, we don't have to touch on it. I'm not gonna let that slide.
He's an all-time villain. What are you talking about?
I thought you said Well, there's a difference between the and a.
He is an all-time
It
villain.
doesn't matter.
Line for you, bud.
Yeah,
Darth Vader, dude. Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker.
Sauron.
There's nobody.
Yeah, he's
Sauron.
Don't even start on Lord of the Rings corner.
You don't have room in your heart for another series like that.
No, I definitely do. I was ready to. I was initially hesitant hearing the Empire Strikes Back comparisons, but I accepted. Dune was awesome.
Yeah,
I would say that I think that James Cameron could direct Dune like Denis Villeneuve, though. If we're talking about it, that's the Denny.
He probably could.
Not Dennis.
I know that might be sacrilegious to hear.
I would have loved for at the very end, for how good Austin Butler played that villain, that character. I would have loved for him to get stabbed a couple times, but then like behind camera, he kind of like limps away. So there's like a little bit. It's like, oh, he's not dead yet. So we're gonna get that nasty, sicko, psychotic character for a couple more movies. But then he actually died, and I was like, like
no more Fade Rafa.
Like I wonder who I wonder who
Who's
the
to
new.
say
There needs to be another.
A new big bad. I didn't know who the next big bad was either, and that's something that we kind of explored a little bit on our deep dive on it.
I think he's pretty toast.
But god damn it, it'd be
probably. But I don't understand the world that much. I thought part 2 was going to be the last movie, and then I thought part 3 was going to be the last movie. Now you guys are telling me there's 6 books, and Now it just sounds
I
like we're
bet they'll-
buckled up. It feels like Avatar right now. Like we wait every 2 years to get a new Avatar by James Cameron. Now we're
Every
waiting
10
every
years.
2 years to
even
get a
more than 2
Yeah,
years,
even
say.
more.
It's-
Jesus
it was
Christ.
yeah.
But this one should come out in 2 years. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I do want to stay
yeah,
on Timmy
man.
for 1 second though, because I'm looking at he's 27 years old right now.
That's
kind of
depressing. That's how old I
fulfilling
am.
that role, like that Leo gap, right? Like of the next leading man. I think it's him and Butler. And I'm looking at the directors that he's worked with, and Leo started to do this after Titanic, where once he made Titanic, he's like, okay, I'm exclusively working with Scorsese, Tarantino, and guys of that nature.
Must be nice.
Yeah, would be nice. And Timmy's kind of doing the same thing. You know, he has 2 Greta Gerwig movies under his belt in Little Women and Lady Bird, a couple of Luca Guadagnino movies, Call Me By Your Name, Bones and All. I know Riesberg loved Bones and All. Adam McKay he worked with, who's maybe not on the same level as those people, but a acclaimed director nonetheless. Villeneuve, obviously, with the 2 Dune movies. Even Wonka was directed by Paul King, the gentleman who did Paddington, which is like super revered amongst critics. So he's kind of adopting this philosophy of like every movie that I do is going to be with a fucking stud filmmaker, and I love that he's doing that. So I'm curious what his next step is going to be as an actor. Like Turner, what would you want to see him kind of do next? Like, because he's already like at such a star level that it's going to be hard to maintain that. Like, there are a lot of actors who can do something this impressive, but then there's like maybe a fall off. Like Damon, like did the Bourne series. Leo just kept working with all of these studs. Like, what's kind of the next thing in the movie star playbook for Timmy?
I pulled up his IMDb, and it doesn't seem like anything's really coming up besides maybe a Bob Dylan biopic that he's involved with. So,
That's
so
right.
That's what I was gonna say, which is so fucking sick.
And that's his
And
favorite
isn't that
film
his
form, right?
project?
Awesome.
Is he kind of taking a lead on that? Yeah. That's it.
I would love to
impressed.
see
so
him
awesome,
do
man.
like a 21 Jump Street type of comedy, because I think he's got pretty good comedy chops, and he's been just like French
Labor.
Dispatch he recently did.
Do you?
He's done just all these really good art
feel like
movies,
he's
and I think he's
very not.
funny and Don't Look Up, but I would love to see
Don't
him
Look
just go
Up.
full
Pretty,
big
oh, there we go.
comedy.
Oh, that's true. I was gonna say I've been watching a lot of I just watched so much stuff on like the actors and actors, but I've been watching a lot of the Dune press conferences, and he's very like I was gonna say not funny, but I
He
think
isn't.
they're all
No, he isn't very
they're-
funny in those. But I think if you give him like a director, like a Gerwig, who he might share the same humor with, like he's so fucking funny in Lady Bird, like where we used to just do the
I
thing.
just
It's
saw
like,
that
what you do is very
last week.
baller. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, Lady-
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it actually. I mean, I'm not a teenage girl, but I had a sister, and I can relate to the character through her.
Oh.
Beautiful
Love that
statement.
One of my 15
Okay.
favorite movies ever. Absolutely adore it.
Damn.
Oh, I love Lady Bird.
Yeah, Lady
That's,
Bird's
like,
awesome.
I know you do. I know
I
you
think I
do.
showed
Ralph,
it to
I watched this
Mike and
whole
Matt.
behind the
Different top 15.
Yeah, I watched this whole behind the scenes of Greta Gerwig. She was talking about how they made that scene where the mom leaves the airport and then
Mhm.
drives back, and it was like it was just the craziest way to make that scene, and it was like only one because the mom, the actor, I don't even know her name. She's like brilliant, but yeah, she has like kids of her own, and
What's
she
his-
was like,
Nancy
"Listen, I only
McPherson?
have like." Yeah, she's like, I only have enough like emotion. Like, I don't want to live this because I'm thinking about my own kid. Like, when you do this once, and I'm going to give you one take, and that's it. Because it's just like she's just going through the
Lauren
ringer, just
Metcalf.
letting her kid.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, Lady Bird's awesome. Yeah, Ralph showed me that. And that's a movie that you just got to trust. Because you're like what am I watching? Like Lady Bird? Like, all right,
Yeah.
Ralph, let's watch it. And then you're just kind of fall in love with it, and you're like, oh man, this is just like, yeah, it's a great movie.
And the lesson that you
It is.
learned is always trust Ralph. Yeah, I was just going to say that, Turner.
Always trust Ralph.
The
dude.
one guy who dropped the ball on Dune that could have been cast in Dune and really has dropped the ball just recently is Lucas Hedges. He's in Grand Budapest Hotel, Moonrise Kingdom, Lady Bird, Manchester by the Sea, 3 Billboards, mid-90s, Honey Boy, Waves. He's been in all of these great movies, and he really hasn't been in anything recently. So he kind of like was on the same level as Timmy when Lady Bird came out, and now Timmy's dating Kylie Jenner, and Lucas Hedges is, I don't even know the most recent thing that he's been in is.
Yeah,
Hey,
Tim
not
is-
everybody
he's
has what it
just,
takes.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's just got he's got the look, the skills. Yeah, he's just taking off. Like he's top of the world right now. I can't imagine what it is to fucking live that kid's life right now. It's gonna be fucking just insane. But yeah,
He's
It's
just
okay,
a
Mike.
scrawny
It's
boy
okay.
king.
Yeah.
Scrawny boys are looking up to this guy like we can do anything now. Dating
Mhm.
Kylie Jenner.
dude, it's funny
Being
because
he's in a Dior commercial, right? Like he looks
Directed
like
by
an
Scorsese.
absolute
dude, imagine
sex
him
symbol.
like he's
That's
such a
wild.
like a child. Like because I've got to watch the press interviews. He's like so like childish and playful. I can't imagine what him and Kyle like.
He
It's
doesn't
I
just
think
fit.
Kylie's kind of childish and playful, though. I
No,
think that's
I'm
what she
thinking.
wants to be.
I think about like the
I think
logistical like
she's gotta
sex
be a
of it.
bitch,
Like she's like she's that's a body, and he's like a little twink boy. I
Yeah, I
I
couldn't
saw
imagine having a huge piece.
I saw a funny tweet the other day, and it was like, like there was a picture of Sydney Sweeney and Casey Musgraves side by side, like at the end of
Oh, we
SNL,
saw that picture.
and somebody was
Mhm.
like, "This is the day people will mark this as the day that the ass era ended," and it's just both of their tits just like absolutely looking perfect and miraculous. And then
Yeah.
somebody replied to that tweet, and it was a picture of Timmy, and he was just like really skinny in it, like posing like on the red carpet. They're like, they will also mark this as the day that the twink boy era started, and it was just
Yeah.
like those are the two ideal. Like I guess I don't fit that anymore because I'm definitely not a twink boy. I did want to talk about so the Oscars are this weekend. They're this Sunday. We can preview them a
Are
little
they? I
bit.
didn't even know that.
Sunday night. And I'm anticipating a big one. You got Oppenheimer, you got Barbie that are both going to be competing. Oppenheimer is likely going to sweep a lot of the categories: best director, best picture, best supporting actor, best actor for Killian, and all of these
As it
things.
should.
But I was trying to think of Leo might not be there, and he would be the kind of guy that fills like the Jack Nicholson role, like front row. Tom Cruise wasn't there famously for Top Gun Maverick because he didn't get nominated for best actor. Leo isn't nominated for best actor. I'm wondering, like, with this Dune kind of moment that we're having, like, how do we get Timmy there? Like, is he front row? Because that's one that just like people will tune in to see him and
he's
Kylie
gotta
at the
be
Oscars.
there.
Like, and I
think
think
about the Golden Globes.
You don't think he'll be there?
All the lip reading between him and Kylie was like a storyline leaving the
Mhm.
Golden Globes.
And what were they saying to each other? I saw that video. It was like, your eyebrows look so good. She's like, mine look better. And it was just so fucking weird and
Who
awkward.
knows what those lip readers are interpreting? Wouldn't you love to see, though, having Timothee show up, sitting with Zendaya in the middle, Tom Holland on the right? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a little, not threesome in that way, but I want to see that threesome sitting together. Like
Sappho's love triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless when I'm famous and people are leading my rips because the shit that comes out of my mouth is going to be just absurd.
Did you see that ass?
You're
Again,
going to
it's
ignore
just
the PR training?
Yeah, it's just a compilation.
Yeah, I should get publish this before.
We touched on this a little bit too, but like Austin Butler, you've been watching these, these press tours, Mike, between Timmy and Austin.
Banging?
Dude, I don't know who's banging right now. I think he used to date Vanessa Hudgens back in the day. Like they were a Disney couple, but I think he wishes he was banging Timmy because every single interview that I'm watching between the two of them, like he is staring so intently at Timmy while he's talking.
Bro, he honestly
like licking his lips.
Dude.
It's intense. I can't imagine him staring at me while I'm talking. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. Like I'm not gay, but I would definitely I would naturally just want to kiss him.
I could see him being a little gay.
A little bit. He played all
I mean, it kind of throws you off because his voice is so deep. That's who I thought he was dating, was Kai Gerber. That kid is also like, I think Austin Butler's probably better looking than Chalamet.
He's a stud.
Just from like a physical, like him and Jacob Elordi, like he pretty much like he's just handsome dudes.
Good one. Yep.
He was photographed kissing Lily Rose Depp in August of 2021. That just kind of blows my mind.
That's 3 years ago, Bert.
That's a fun facts. We talked about Kaya Gerber. Oh no, they are still together, according to Business Insider.
Nice. It actually makes me happy that he's not going to steal my
reporting on that.
I don't know why they're reporting on that, but they are. Great pictures. He's a beautiful looking man.
Yeah, he'll be at the Oscar. Yeah, they'll all be there.
Good. And we'll do an Oscars pod too Sunday night. I'm fired up for it because it'll be fun.
I can save it for that.
All right. So we should go and do spits and swallows and popcorn picks. I didn't think we were going to do 20 minutes on Dune, but I should have anticipated that. So my bad. Hand up.
It's too good.
Sorry for the scheduling error. All right, let's do Swallow first. We're on a positive note right now. Curious what you got, Turner. You always come super prepared.
I'm prepared for the swallow today. His spit's gonna be a little touch and go.
Okay.
But we're swallowing ibuprofen, literally and physically. What the hell is ibuprofen? I don't know. You pop 2 of those fuckers, you feel great, dude. Whoever came up with ibuprofen, just solving the world's problems. One little pill at a time. They tell you not to take pills growing up. No, take all the ibuprofen you need. You got a swollen
ankle. You ever tried a 30 milligram Adderall?
Yeah, there you go. There's another one. You can swallow Adderall.
That'll make you feel.
That's all I got today. I was on the IR last week. I had the flu. Supposedly you're not supposed to take ibuprofen. You're supposed to take Tylenol. I didn't know that. Ibuprofen was doing the job.
All right, I'll actually follow that because I'm swallowing something that you literally swallow as well. I'm swallowing Coke Zero. Not the biggest fan of Diet Coke. Coke has become a little bit too syrupy for me in this olden age.
Wow.
And I've quit vaping. So it's a hard thing to quit. I know, Berg. Every time I look at you on this call, I'm like, God damn,
Coke Zero is saving you?
Coke Zero is giving me like that slap in the throat satisfaction that I crave. Like I realized I wasn't craving the nicotine. I guess I still am craving the nicotine because I still have Zins. But the Coke Zero is like it's giving you like that little pinch that you like in the back of the throat. So I missed that. And the Coke Zero is just good. 0 calories, tastes just like Coke when I was growing up. But then I tried like I think it was like a Mountain Dew a couple of weeks ago at work because I was like, we have it. I'll just give it a shot. How do people drink that shit, man? It is like so sugary and so syrupy. And like, I'm not like a pussy when it comes to drinking or anything like that. But it's just like, once you go on the 0 cal pop mend and then you try like, it tastes like crack. It's like, holy shit.
I haven't had a Mountain Dew since high school, maybe. Yes. Are they not good anymore?
No, I mean,
when you're
good.
A kid, for some reason, it's just like, you run around with a shake weight. They're so good.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just potent. Like that's the only way I can describe it. It's like almost like too much. It's like thicker in your mouth because of the sugar versus like a Coke Zero is just like
disgusting.
It's literally all I drink other than water.
He'll drink a Mountain Dew at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm a Coke guy, but I stay away from diet.
Just as like a side swallow, just like a baby swallow, is climbing kites. I know that somebody in our group, I was drinking one the other day over at Big Grove. It is a local THC drink that is it tastes exactly like sparkling water.
Local to Des Moines.
Yes, local to Des Moines, and it's just phenomenal. So I've been drinking those every now and then as well.
How are they getting away with that out there? They have THC drinks now.
Yeah, I read an article about it. I can't remember what it was necessarily. This is
they
actually
use
THC.
A different Delta variant.
Yeah,
it's like the THC that you smoke.
Never trust somebody that knows too much about like the CBD THC differences.
Yeah, just drink it. Shut the fuck up. Have fun.
Okay. I think you should definitely look into it, but
he's just saying like, don't trust the guy that's like trying to sell you hemp and is like, this will cure like your entire life and now you'll be more concentrated. Like, just fuck off. All right, Cerroni, what are you swallowing?
I am swallowing. Oh yeah, I'm swallowing. I mean, this guy. The past, so I'm gonna swallow Jason Kelsey.
Nice.
This guy, with his brother. Imagine your brother, obviously Travis, being on that much of a heater with his career, the Super Bowls, Taylor Swift. How do you follow that up, dude? Somehow, I think Jason Kelsey even won up his brother. The past 2 years with this guy and the podcast, and he's just the overall best. Like, he's just the dude's dude. He's a dude's dude. Like, just him chugging with his beer off, just showing up to the game with jeans and flip-flops, just being like the guy that everybody absolutely loves. And then speaking his mind. Like, why doesn't every athlete just like speak their mind and have fun and be funny like that? The reason why I just kind of put the nail in the coffin with the swallow is, I don't know if you guys watched his retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
Dude, just this beautiful monologue about how he met his wife at the bar and everybody loves him even more and he's a family man. And then he's going out making these hilarious jokes about, I remember, Nick Foles with the biggest dick on the team ran the Philly special and Doug Peterson, blah, blah, the second biggest dick on the team to let him do it. And we like just cracking jokes, being himself, being a guy that everybody loves. I just think when you have a brother that is, it could possibly outshadow you to the absolute like he's winning Super Bowls, he's dating Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce's on the top of the world. He's somehow like he's just as famous. He's just as popular. He's just as loved. He's obviously even more loved. But this guy, what a fucking 2 years for this guy. Gets a ring, gets a crazy podcast, goes down, retires as, Hall of Fame center. Just absolutely, I just can't imagine what that family is like. But you gotta love the guy. He's been absolutely on fire lately. And then just this whole retirement ceremony, which was cracking me up. Dude, he's talking about Nick Foles junk and all this stuff. But I fucking love that guy. He's just he's just like you feel like it's just a normal guy, like one of us. Just got famous, and he's great at football, and it's just so relatable. It's so fun, and you just can't hate that guy. You cannot hate him.
Mike, have you seen
he's just been on fire lately.
Have you seen the Kelsey documentary?
Yes, amazing, dude.
Good documentary.
Loved it. Like, he's giving these speeches where he's crying and getting the passionate speeches, firing up his players. And, dude, just this normal guy wearing a Batman mask, having fun. He's just being himself. I think at the end of the day, like, everybody loves the guy who is just unapologetically himself.
Yeah.
Like, and you can always tell, because you can always tell when something's authentic or fake. And, he just is being himself. I wish every athlete, would be like that and do that. Just be so much more fun just across the board.
And he's giving
Kelce, man.
He's giving hope to little fat boys everywhere. Like, I was a center,
Yeah,
6th, 7th, and 8th grade, man, and I didn't have a center to look up to. I thought it was an unsexy position, but I was a difference maker on that team, man. I was like, you had to send 2 D linemen. And it's there's little chunkers all over America right now. They're like, I want to get on that O-line. Because Travis plays not a sexy position, but he's made the tight end position a little bit sexier. Like him, Kittle, they've all made that position even more valuable. I think that there'll be some kind of contract negotiation to get tight ends paid as much as receivers at some point. But the center position is
more important.
I only looked up to Jeff Saturday, and I just only knew him because he was Peyton Manning's best friend. And that was really about it. But now you got Jason Kelce.
Jeff Saturday, he was funny. He's making, you got to have personality. That even more credit to him as an O lineman. But he's just been on fire. I just love every time I see him pop up. I watch their podcast. I do. I know a lot of people hate on it, but they're funny together.
Number one sports podcast right now.
Yeah, it's like us shooting the shit back and forth. Dude, you can't hate him. You gotta love him, and God, he has been on fucking fire lately. And you gotta credit to him because, it's got to be tough with the brother who kind of stole, the fucking world. I mean, dude, when him and Taylor kind of took over the world for 4 or 5 months, and then out of nowhere, just the older brother, just shirtless, just shotgun a beer with his chest hair. Not even one, I probably would have shaved my chest if I knew I was going to just fuck it, just as is, just unapologetically himself, man.
It took Dune to actually overcome that cultural moment. We needed a $180 million movie opening weekend to overtake, because people were, I still have Swift and Kelce type coming up on my timeline. All right, Bert, you're up. What's your swallow? What's your last
so real quick, I gotta echo Jason Kelce. People love him because he's a great, genuine dude. We got that point across, but when you're genuine, people are gonna love you like that. But I also got to call back to the moment you talked about him meeting his wife at a bar. I love that you described it as a beautiful moment, because it definitely is, and that's how we should all describe it. But the story goes, he was blacked out, met her on Tinder. Yeah. She didn't know if he was going to be real or not. He shows up to the bar, gets hammered, ends up blacking out. She's got to take him home. I don't think a lot of people would describe that as a beautiful first meet, but I think they should, and I think we all should, because
it's a great lesson to learn. Yeah. Just get blacked out for your Tinder date, and then it'll turn into something beautiful.
Yeah. You can only go up from there. He was right. He was kind of, trending down, and then he came back sober, and it's the Jason Kelce we all know and love. But I'm going to have to swallow. So whoever that guy that made the shake weights, I'm kidding. I got to swallow my favorite month, that is March. I'm going to swallow this for every consecutive week that we do a podcast. Not Black History Month, not January, not December, not November, maybe September because my birthday's in there. But
Can't forget that.
you gotta go with March because March Madness, obviously. But it's also for other points. I mean, what else do we got going on? This is the first time you're in college or you're our age. It starts getting a little nicer out. You can start having a little darty every now and then. You see a nice 60-degree weekend coming up. You can have a little darty, but it's mostly because of March Madness. Everything changes even
What
before
kind of
the
guy
tournament.
are you at a darty? Are you
He's
running
jersey
the
wearer.
pong table, the die
He's
table,
big time
jersey wear? I
Chinese.
can see that.
It depends on the darty. Depends on the day and what variables we have, going on there. But I usually I try to get a fun fit going. I mean, big poppy glasses, some t-shirt you can only wear to a darty. It's only acceptable there. You can't wear
Colorful.
this t-shirt anywhere else.
Bright colors,
Something like that.
maybe something floral.
Bright colors. Maybe a button down to keep unbuttoning as it gets hotter or colder, whatever.
Layers. Wow.
As you get drunker.
bright
I
color
can see Riesberg in just a floral button down, like almost a little Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
You might be going on
Yes,
vacation.
but nothing underneath except my chest hair.
No, of course not. Loads of chest hair. You have little blonde chest hairs, don't you?
He
Cute
does.
little blonde
Oh,
ones.
they're actually they're a little brown.
They're-
Maybe they are.
They're
Oh,
blonde.
okay.
They're
They're a little
blonde.
darker than you think. They're
He's
darker
trying to
than you
keep
think.
Yeah.
They're darker
they're-
than
like
you
the-
think.
I like
Alright,
to
we
floss
keep
my
going.
teeth with those.
Go back to your
Alright.
March Madness swallow.
Yeah, I'm just swallowing March because everything means more. Pre-tournament, obviously the tournament's fun. We're going to get to that. But, it's March 6th, and the games that are being played, if you've been watching college basketball, everything is a little more
Best time of
meaningful.
the
We're
year.
finishing the regular season, and people are vying for that number 1 seed. They're jockeying to make the tournament. So you see that energy go up, that focus go up in games, and I just absolutely love that. You also get people, like Mike coming in, and they're starting to get a little way interested in college basketball. This is their time. They're taking over.
Bets are flowing.
People start getting on
I wake up
heaters.
every day and I'm yeah, dude, just what are we betting? What are we looking at? You're paying attention. And the thing with
Oh, welcome to my
people
life.
understand. Yeah, and the thing with college basketball that has above any sport is you wake up on a Tuesday or Wednesday, there's 20 games. There's so much
Too
just
many.
pure volume of it that you could bet, all day up into, you're betting Hawaii at, midnight, you get in yourself a little heat. I hit a plus 600 parlay last night with fucking Nevada and or who beat San Diego State. And
It was UNLV.
Las Vegas. You're making money, you're having fun. March
Wild
Madness
call
is
by you, by the way. That was a great bet.
yeah, there's 2 games left, and I was like, I'm gonna underdog both of them and threw them in a parlay. And
I didn't have the
checked
balls
it
to
at-
say this in a chat, but I was on the opposite side of you on both games. So I'm hat off to you right now.
Birds
I
love
really
Mountain
on
West.
the Mountain West. I love the
I would
Mountain
love-
West.
I would love to be a little guest star on Box Out Boys. I feel like this time of year I watch a lot of college ball, and I could add a couple tweaks. Villanova lost, so I lost that one. But
Let's switch
yeah,
the
dude,
format of the show a bit. With Mike.
No,
Yeah.
we'll talk. We'll see where we can fit you in.
yeah,
I will
I didn't
say
mean it
that
like
you-
that though.
While we're
Berg, you missed
swallowing-
one angle. Oh, I got one angle for Berg as a general manager on
St.
the
Patrick's
future,
Day?
on the future song draft.
No, that's April.
You neglected to mention maybe his best song, March Madness by Future. You can listen
It
to
is
this song
March, right.
every day this month as much as you want, unapologetically, and that's what I've done so far. I've listened to 56 Nights relentlessly. So I just wanted to throw out that.
I was
that out
gonna-
there. Go ahead, Turner.
give a shout out to Brent
Also,
Musburger for bringing the term March Madness to the masses, to the populace. Just because that ring, just March Madness, everybody knows what that means, what that symbolizes, just absolute madness of 18 to
America
20
comes together.
big
Yeah.
old round
Nice.
orange basketball, upset Cinderellas. Oh, we love it. So
Does it say when he
Shimmer.
coined that term?
you know what?
Coined that term?
He brought it to the popularity. We have Henry Porter in 1939, man out of Illinois, came up with the term. Brent Musburger brought it to TV in the 80s and started just, saying it over and over again until it just kind of got hammered home and March Madness was born.
I love that.
It's beautiful. We love the background. We love the linguists and the rhetoric behind that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's a good little note.
All right, we should move into spits then.
Mhm.
Let's go Turner, go ahead.
Oh,
what are
I
you spitting
gotta
this
go
week?
again. All right, we're gonna spit. This is like, I guess, is on the same subject. I guess, Caitlin Clark's been big in the news as she continues to break records, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to see Travis Scott at the Iowa game.
Crazy.
Never would have thought that was gonna happen. They did a good job of recognizing Lynette Woodard, right? Is that how you say her name?
Mm-hmm.
The lady that played for Kansas. But what I'm spitting is just like cross record breaking between like Pistol Pete and Caitlin Clark. Like that, why is that even a big deal? I've never seen in any other sport where like somebody in softball hits more home runs than Hank Aaron, or like somebody in girls swimming is won more medals than Michael. I don't know. It just seems like a weird ploy to try and get more eyes on the television screen again for Fox. And it's a debate that I see raging on Twitter between people like, well, Pistol Pete did it in 3 years. Well, he took 40 shots a game and his dad was the coach. Well, Caitlin Clark, I could give two shits. I just think it's a weird thing to compare. I guess I just want to give both of them their flowers, Pistol Pete and Caitlin Clark for being the best of their sport and for their side. So I just am spitting the whole idea of what, like, we have to compare and greatness on everything. Like, there's always got to be a best instead of just celebrating the accomplishments that multiple individuals had. Like, why do we always have to one up each other on that shit?
I am glad that Pistol Pete is coming up more in conversation. I read a biography on him that Pete Eastman gave to me. I think like 6th or 7th grade. It was a thick book. It might have been one of the thicker books that I read at that point. I think it was like 625 pages. But literally every single game, they recorded his statistics in the book. So I got to see the chance of like his evolution. That dude was taking 45 to 50 shots per game. And it was insane because they would also mark like how far away he was shooting despite everything being worth 2. And people were like, he was literally pulling up from like 35 feet just like on a whim, like whatever he wanted. He started at Clemson, transferred to LSU, went to the New Orleans Jazz, played for them, played for the Atlanta Hawks, and died very young. Obviously, like had the instructional. I think he might have like lung cancer, something like that.
Smoking too many cigs.
Yeah. But he was
a good life though.
He had an instructional video that like I guarantee all of our dads had like his instructional video growing up. That was like the original YouTube for like if you wanted to learn how to play basketball. And I have one great Pistol Pete story. And it's hilarious because, like, you always see, like, these weird trainings. Oh, go ahead, Turner.
Your hilarious story. Pistol Pete died at 40 playing pickup, undiagnosed heart disease. He died playing basketball. Like,
wow.
I
bet he wouldn't have wanted to go out any other way.
Disney movie.
Yeah. I bet he made the shot, too. He probably released it, died, and by the time he's fucking soaring up to fucking heaven, it just went right through.
From 44 feet, too.
Yeah.
Number 44.
Yeah. Or he just got or he got blocked by some, like, huge black dude, and it just fucking ended him.
And he's like, fuck this. Like, I can't be playing against
still segregated at the time, for sure.
No, it wasn't. He was playing with black dudes. But anyway, so like you see like all these crazy training stories, like Jameis Winston, like on Instagram, and it's just like he's doing the weirdest shit. Pistol Pete was like so creative with like the way that he worked out that he would dribble a basketball while his dad was driving in the car, and he would ride shotgun. So he'd have the window down, and he would dribble the basketball, right? And he wanted to see how fast his dad could drive with him dribbling the ball, and his dad got up to 22 miles an hour. And Pistol Pete, at that point, you're not dribbling. All you're doing is you're just throwing the ball as far as you can and then catching up to it, and having that control over the ball is just like miraculous. And he's just
nuts.
Like there's just like legends stories of him that are so brilliant. And
that's like when your coach used to have you put plastic bags over the basketballs. You know what I'm saying about?
Drill. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just so nasty with. Or keep going.
Though. No, I mean that's really what it is. Like, and we should. Yeah,
he'd fly.
John Wall could have, yeah. But then also the porn star stash. Like he was growing up in that era, like he was living in that era. You know that dude was fucking. So I'm not surprised that he died at an early age because, we hear the numbers that Will Chamberlain was putting up in bed. I guarantee you that Pistol Pete was also doing the same numbers. They didn't talk about that.
You believe those though, because those are self-proclaimed numbers.
He was
I believe it. It's Will Chamberlain, dude. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah, I've seen him. He almost looks really salty nowadays on TV. Just they invited him to the game to watch a record getting broke, and he's just like, I am so not happy about this at all.
That's Kareem.
Yeah.
That's Kareem. That is not Will.
I thought that's who you said. Sorry.
Yeah, Will's been dead a while. Probably because of the venereal diseases
Will's a dog
that he racked up.
going back
What's
to
a dog? I take it all back. Continue.
Pete Maravich dying like that, I feel like people used to die in cooler ways back before, like doctors come in and facilitate. People used to be just dying all the time.
Yep. Just on the court.
You miss those days. You miss those days that people were dying a
Still
lot.
happens.
The good old days.
Like, if, you actually thought, like, hey, tomorrow I might die. But nah, not anymore. It's like, I got it until at least I'm 60.
Yeah, at least. All right. Mike, what are you spitting? That was good.
I am spitting. All right. Listen, it's or actually you guys saw it today from my little fender bender. It was raining out today. Listen, if I'm gonna live in California and pay goddamn near 50% income tax and get charged up the ass, it better be sunny outside. Okay? It better be great weather. I want 72, barely any clouds. I'm trying to play golf. I'm trying to fucking drive with my windows down. It's been raining for like 2 weeks in California.
Oh,
Bullshit. Absolute
Mikey.
bullshit. I know you guys are in the cold, just getting fucking snowed on, but you're not paying 70% taxes. You're not paying $8 for a gallon of gas. You're not paying $32 for a carton of eggs. So I'm selling the California weather, right, or spitting. And dude, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I live here for a reason, and it's been kicking my ass. And yeah, there's floods, there's water coming in, everything's underwater. Haven't been able to golf in fucking forever. So yeah, I'm spitting California rain and the weather and the bullshit that comes with it. Because I'm gonna live here and get charged out the ass. I better get some sunshine. So whatever government contraption that I know they have going on that makes rain needs to get shut off, and the sun needs to come out, and I need to get back on the golf course. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, you're not going to get any. We feel sorry for you.
No,
the taxes
no
thing
sympathy.
sucks ass. That's terrible. Because yeah, I've been looking at like some checks and stuff
Just
like that. I'm
getting
like, damn, this
wrecked.
40% is eating. But all right, Bert,
Dude.
what are you going to spit? Because you're usually not so negative. You usually swallow 2 things the last couple of weeks.
No, I've only done that once, but
Done it
I
twice.
was
You
thinking
like
about
to swallow.
swallowing again. I do like to swallow. I'm not a spitter. Spitters are quitters. I was thinking about swallowing something again, but I can spit something.
Yeah, you your daddy's son.
Spitters or
All right,
quitters.
that's-
So I'm gonna spit.
Your
I'm gonna
daddy's
spit this
son.
one individual because at this point it's one person. It's got to
Drop
be
the name.
their name
Drop the
is
name.
no. I wish I knew their name. I need to talk to the Denver Police Department to find their name out. But there's no names given. It's this is a broken case. They're never gonna find the guy. But I moved to Colorado 6 months ago now. It's March 6th, so it's been 6 months, 5 days, whatever the fuck the math is. And I came here with 2 bikes. Came here with 2. 6 months in, I have 0. I have 0 bikes. This Monday, I woke up to a text. Hey, your bike's gone. There's just a wheel where your lock is. So just the wheel was there. The rest of the bike gone forever. It was my favorite Trek bike. We got it at a garage sale. My mom bought it for me when I was in like 8th grade. I was so attached to it. I know that does sound sad. It's okay. It's a bike though. But I reported it to the police again. They're not going to do jack shit about it. I called my property manager. They won't show me the video, but they'll describe what happened. I know what happened. I want to see these individuals. So I'm
Happens in
spinning
LA
this one
all the
individual. Dude, I know. It happened. Yeah,
Yes.
there's no way they give a fuck about it.
Yeah, because they just legit unscrew, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Every part of the bike that's not on the lock.
Yes,
and then
they
you're
just
stuck
take
with
the tires out so they can take the whole body and they just leave your front wheel. So they got the
Yeah,
rest.
that's
All they
so
need to do is put a
fucked,
front
man.
wheel on.
That's a
And it's
manual
not like it
labor
was
finesse.
outside. It was inside the building. So it could be the enemies could be around me here. The thief could be around
Oh
here.
my god, you're living with him. He's across the hall.
I think so too.
He's probably listening to you. He's probably a fan of the Pop Off Pod,
Yeah.
laughing his ass off when this gets aired.
Liking every reel.
Got him again.
He's gonna
Got
get
him
it.
again.
That's
Well, he
brutal.
can't get me
Coming.
anymore. And there was only my 2 bikes and then another bike in the back. That bike in the back, untouched. Nobody wants it. Nobody's
gonna
nobody's
give
even
you a
tried to
bike?
steal it.
He's going to give you a bike. He's going to leave one
I
on
don't
your
want his
doorstep.
bike.
And then a month later, he's going to take it back. And
He
he's gonna
might.
say, I got that motherfucker again. Bert, Turner dropped something in the chat, though. He said that you have a shoulder story that was a good spit.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd like to hear this.
I can do. So yeah, it's been a while since we last talked. So last time we were talking, me and Turner were about to take the trip up to Vail and have a little snowboard, Turner skiing trip together with the boys, and that went pretty well for the most part. You know, the learning didn't happen as fast as you'd want, but by the second day, it was kind of piecing things together for a little bit. You know, got a little too cocky. Finally, I'd been snowboarding alone the whole time, and so it's not as sad as it sounds. You're on the mountains. You stop sometimes. You just look out. You in the most beautiful place ever.
Your boys didn't wait up for you.
I'm that bad, Mike. There's no reason. I don't want them
dude,
to not have fun.
I've boarded with some kids learning, and it's rough, but like no Marine left behind, man. Or maybe that's just because I'm a Marine.
Yeah, I think it's because you're a Marine.
You gotta still
I will say, in their
friends.
defense, I mean, sure, we can come at them a little, but in their defense, I feel like I was pretty like, hey, like, just you guys go. We'll keep in touch, and like, if I start figuring this shit out,
that's when I would say, no, dude, we'll all go down the hill together. It's gonna be a blast. We'll get you
Hold
better.
hands. Yeah.
Well, they eventually started feeling bad because I finally pieced together a run. We got our group photo, and then we're going down this green that turned into a blue at one point, and I could have kept going on the green, but I decided to hit the blue. So we started going down it, and honestly, there were a lot of falls, but I had two snowboarder buddies with me, and they were just trying to give me the ins and outs, and it was kind of clicking a little. We were coming down back to the ski lift, and just had a weird fall, popped the shoulder out. Had two boys. Oh yeah, shoulder popped out. It was dislocated, couldn't move it. Two boys came up, and they're saying all the right and wrong things. So like, you probably don't want to hear this, but you totally broke your collarbone, man. It's done for. And I'm like, no, it's just the shoulder. I know it. I heard it pop out. That's it. Long story short, one of the boys starts just coming up to me, putting his back. He's like, here, lay down, get comfortable. He's like, you're going to be good. You're in my hands now. Telling me also this bad info, but long story short, again, I just lift my elbow up. It pops back in, and it was all good. I snowboarded down. They were like, do we need to get the jet ski patrol out here? I was like, that's way too dramatic.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I was like, dude, if he is about to say that you went down, because you see those people on the snowmobile with the thing that you're strapped to, you don't want to be that guy, man. My leg could be detached from my body. Don't put me on that little sled thing, because that's the worst look, bro. You're going down the hill, you're like strapped up to like the hearse thing or like the stretcher. Mm-hmm. God, it's just a bad look. I was saying no, but the boys were saying this would be a great story, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. No, it would be hilarious. There was a video, but it would be hilarious for us.
And the girl made me go talk to Ski Patrol. This mountain girl came up, and she was like, "Hey, let me take care of you. You know, let's get you down there. But I want to get you checked out." I kept saying no, but she was so insistent that we talked to the Ski Patrol. Walk in, we got Spicoli just sitting in there, 80-year-old Spicoli, Fast Times at Ridgemont, just chilling. You know, hasn't had any problems with that going on. And I come in, and he's just looking at me like, "What's up?" And I'm like, I didn't even say anything. She told him what happened. And he's like, "Is shoulder still dislocated, man?" And I'm like, "No, I popped it back in." "Ever happened before?" "No." "Oh yeah, one time, but it's all good now." It's like, dude, we don't need to stop a ski lift for you, man. Just fucking willy your way on down there. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to get out of there because that guy was weirding me out. I couldn't believe, I was so pissed he had me talk to that guy. But
yeah, fuck that.
Took a ski lift down, called it for the day.
Unless she was hot.
Yeah, she wasn't hot. She was 60. I met her husband in the ski line.
Oh god,
ski lift line.
I would love to board with you, man.
Shout out Spicoli. That's
dude,
great.
We could put it together now. I think I feel a lot more confident after that second day than I've ever felt.
I'd teach you a couple because I grew up though.
I was getting the S's going. A boy was yelling at me as I was going down, just trust your toe, trust it. I trusted it, and I started carving for a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to trust the toe at first because you hit one edge and it's a brutal.
It feels weird, but it's not the worst way to fall if you really think about it, unless you go back.
Yeah, if you go back, it's you're gonna get off the mountain.
This is not becoming a shredding podcast. All right, I'm spitting. I'm spitting the sick fucks with random numbers that text you. Now, this could be a plethora of different things. This could be, the political advertisers that are constantly in your DMs like, hey, it's Nikki Haley. Like, you want a free blowjob if you vote for me kind
I
of
got
thing?
that one, bro. The Nikki Haley one.
Oh, my God. She doesn't stop. She does not bug you. It's like the worst ex-girlfriend possible. But I'm more talking about the random numbers that they know you don't have their number. It could be like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty good at saving numbers, but I just got this text actually like earlier today, and they said, come to my house for a barbecue party this weekend. I don't know who they are. Their area code is an area code that I do not know. It's 239.
Is it blue or green?
It's blue. It's
Oh, that's even.
Which
What's
is
the
like
area
so
code?
weird.
Let's look it up.
That's very weird
It's
because usually it's always
239. And I asked them, who is this?
Oh,
And
sounds
they said,
East Coast.
I'm Wendy. Didn't you save my number? I said, I don't know.
Oh, it's
Wendy.
fake.
And I'm
Southwestern
still waiting
Florida.
for a text right now. Like, I just don't know who these people are. I don't know what their prerogative is. I'm just an innocent dude trying to record a pod, host some basketball tryouts. He said, oh, they just said, I'm
Wendy.
sorry. Aren't you Irene? No, I'm not Irene. And I'm just not going to respond to this person. Like, it's just
Southwest
like,
Florida, they could be from Miami.
it's just like, get your numbers right, man. Like, just get that shit straight. It's just so, like, I don't know. It just frustrates me. It's like, I got shit to handle and business to do, baby. I don't got time for this, like, stupid encounter. I just hate stupid people.
We gotta put the
I don't
clues
got time
together.
to be
Yeah,
Irene, dog.
it's Florida area code. They're looking for someone named Irene. They obviously had dementia or old and suffering. Maybe
Also,
you should
like,
The
reach out
fact
to
that
them.
it's blue though, usually it's always green. It's
Yeah.
the scammers
Well,
never had an iPhone.
Nikki Haley is always green. Wendy, I think she just had good intentions to reach out to Irene. Like,
Just
kind of
dementia.
weird that like you have three people with like Wendy's not a common name anymore. Irene certainly isn't, and I know Ralph isn't. So just kind of a weird little corner there that I'm in.
You should have
But
went with it. Yeah,
it's
what
all
time?
right.
What should I bring?
I already deleted the number. I guess I could go to recently deleted and recover it, but I'm not that kind of guy. Once I put something in the past, it's back there.
Yeah, put
All right.
Wendy in the back.
Let's
As it
move
should be.
into popcorn picks now. I want to start. Yeah, I'll start because mine's
going.
it's an uncommon one. It's not a movie, it's not a TV show, it's not music. It is I actually want to swallow because I've been scrolling like crazy. I just want to swallow Twitter after a big event happens. And I don't want to talk too much about the Dune thing. Yeah, it's my popcorn pick because I've spent a lot of time on Twitter recently just scrolling, and I think that's why I appreciate Dune so much right now. It's because it's creating this sense of community amongst everybody, and that's why I loved Oppenheimer. That's why I loved Barbie. That's why you love the Super Bowl. It's because you feel like these monocultural events, they still mean something. I'm going to be on Twitter all of March Madness and like talking about, UCF upsetting, etc., and all of this kind of cool stuff. Like that shit fires me up, man. There's nothing better than just seeing like, oh, I never would have associated that picture with this meme and that, so on and so forth. Like all of the Stilgar stuff that's been going on Twitter. That was kind of the first couple of days of Dune, and now they're kind of moving into like everybody's doing like this one Austin Butler picture where like he's looking like it's a GIF and he's just like looking up and then he looks down into the camera and kind of like grins a little bit. That's the new big thing. So I just love like this chain of events that happens on social media because you can't get that on Instagram. You can't really get that on TikTok. Sure, there are trends, but not everybody's talking about the same thing when something is this moment. And we had talked about this on a previous pod. I can't remember which one it was, but like I was scared that like the monoculture wouldn't exist anymore. So I'm like really happy. Like I remember it so vividly. Game of Thrones, season 7, episode 1, it premieres. You get on Twitter, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Jon and Daenerys meeting one another, and it's the absolute best, man. So, I'm popcorn picking Twitter for lack of a
Do you
better
like
term.
actively tweet,
Oh,
Ralph?
shit.
Will you just throw out a little, just a little?
I used to be
Like,
super active on Twitter, but now I don't tweet as much. It's more retweets, quote tweets, stuff
I gotta
like that.
get one because
I used to be funny on Twitter, but I just don't have the time to tweet as much as I used to. I used to be a good tweeter though. Who's got?
I can see you killing the Twitter.
I also like we got some boys that are really good on Twitter. Like Tommy Murfeld's got like a burner account, Coach Oates, and he's always putting out some heat.
Captain Schlitz.
Captain Schlitz. Turner's always putting
Now
out
we
some
know.
heat.
There we go. Get that plug in.
Yep. I think he has like 72 followers. It's heat.
I might make one.
But those are the points of the burners. Just like tweet shit into the abyss, and like maybe your boy sees it, maybe they don't. Like Drell retweeted something the other day, and I realized that I'm subscribed to Drell's
Drell
tweets.
loves Twitter. Drell loves Twitter.
I know he's always on it, but he's not tweeting as much as he used to. So I texted him. I'm like, "Yo, dog, like you gotta get back on Twitter." He's always
very
just got
clever.
The funniest shit.
Yeah,
he's the funniest kid ever.
Drell would kill Twitter.
All right, let's go. Berg, what's your popcorn pick this week?
So popcorn pick doesn't have to be movies or TV shows.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I kind of bended it a little bit just because, it's about a movie. It was about Dune 2 for the most part. But like we want to suggest something to people.
My popcorn pick, probably not the best after the berating I got from PD on being gay this week, but I'm going to go Call Me By Your Name.
Money.
With Timothee Chalamet. Let's keep it on that note. The Timothee Chalamet is probably
let's do the Army Hammer note. We got to do that too. You can't just
of course
they come together.
Of course, but it's full circle. We talked about Timothy earlier, and this is probably my favorite performance by him. I think that's fair to say. I really liked him in it.
Elio.
I mean, Armie Hammer, you got to get over the controversy that does surround that guy. Fuck it, whatever. I thought he also killed it. Yep. Yeah, cannibalism. He's addressed it. I don't know. I don't look too into it. But the movie itself, Call Me By Your Name, is in 1980s Italy, a relationship begins between 17-year-old teenage Elio and the other adult man hired as his father's research assistant.
Yep.
So we see little Timmy come over, and then he, forms this beautiful relationship with his father's research assistant, and it makes for a lot of beautiful moments. That's kind of what I look for in cinema. Not beautiful moments, but just something that makes you feel something, kind of touches at the heart chords, or, makes you think
a little. Beautiful than gay statutory rape.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from, but the way it was portrayed, the way it ended, and I think, what's his name? The father in it, Michael
Stuhlbarg. Yeah.
Stuhlbarg delivers maybe a little recency bias, but my favorite monologue at the end when he is, describing Timothy, just about love, just in love lost and how to handle that. That ripped me, touched me at every level. And I thought that was like the most funny way to put it, but I thought it was the most just absolutely beautiful film I've seen in years.
I don't cry a lot watching movies. It is so I watched it for the first time with Suisse and his brother Cameron, and we all said at the end of it, like, "Yo, I'm not gay, but if I were, wouldn't mind being the third wheel in that love triangle right there." And the point on statutory rape, it is true. Like Licorice Pizza dealt with that as well. I get it. It is what it is. But at the same time, it's like, it was a different era. It's like in the 80s. It's Italy. It's the most beautiful vistas and landscapes. We should say that Luca Guadagnino directed it, and this was my introduction to him. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he made this movie with Chalamet, which started their relationship as filmmaker and lead actor, and that led to Bones and All, which carries the same themes of love despite controversy and all of these things. But they're two totally different movies. One's literally about cannibalism, which is ironic because Armie Hammer was obviously a crucial part of that movie. Armie is brilliant in Call Me By Your Name. Yeah, he's also brilliant in Social Network. But I want to say the thing about Michael's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, was Call Me By Your Name? Was that really what put Tim on the map?
Yes. Yeah. He got. I think he might have been nominated for an Oscar. Well, so he was in Interstellar,
Beautiful
right?
Boy.
Like he's the son in Interstellar.
That's right. He was yeah.
Beautiful Boy's 2018. Call Me By Your Name is 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll have to watch Beautiful
Boy. And Lady Bird was also 2017.
Right.
So like
Beautiful Boy.
Lady Bird was huge for him too. Beautiful Boy is tough to get through, but Stuhlbarg, that is that's one of my favorite monologues in movies. That conversation between those two, because Timmy is obviously going through this circumstance where he's not having trouble admitting that he's gay. He's having trouble admitting that this relationship is over and that it can't be realized because, and I'm not sure if I should spoil it, so I guess I won't go into it too much. But Stuhlbarg essentially says to him, he's like, he's been married to his mom for God knows how long. They have this beautiful house in Italy that they summer vacation in, and their relationship seems like perfect on the surface, his mom and Michael Stuhlbarg's. And he says to Timmy, he's like, he doesn't say it explicitly, like, I was also gay when I was your age and I had a love affair like this, but he does say, like, I understand exactly what you're going through. You have no idea. And it's going to hurt, but he essentially says that hurt is what makes us human. And would you rather feel this or feel nothing at all? And as somebody who's like felt like that heartbreak before, like it is like a really powerful thing, but I've also felt that numbness before, and I would much rather feel the heartbreak than the numbness. Like the numbness is like way more excruciating when you don't feel anything about something, because you're like, damn, am I not capable of feeling something, versus that heartbreak. So it was just like a really tender moment, and yeah, I cry every time I watch it because I'm like, god damn it, Michael Stuhlbarg is the man. If you like Himberg, you should watch the movie that he did with the Coen brothers. It's called A Serious Man. Fucking amazing. So good. He's the lead in it. Shaven face, looks different. I think he's one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood right now, because he's also in Bones and All, and he plays the really weird cannibal that they meet by the fire, and he's like kind of like homeless, like lives out of an RV, and they run into him. It's like the scariest part of the movie.
Not even tell that was him until way after the movie.
The rotted teeth. He's so good in that too. So that's a great pick, man. Good one. Call Me by Your Name. Love that movie. I think I have it like my top 30 on Letterboxd. Just fun fact. All right, Berg or Turner, what is your popcorn pick?
I have a couple options here. I think I'm gonna go with Beekeeper. Just a popcorn movie. I'm a sucker for like Jason Statham just fucking shit up. Basically, here's all you need to know. Someone close to him is, harmed, wronged, and he's gonna right that wrong through vengeance. Who is he?
John Wick.
He's a beekeeper. He protects the hive. He is basically a off the charts secret agent type dude that, if he's coming for you, you might as well just be dead. And that's basically
you just described every single Statham movie, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. He's got his role locked down.
It was a great watch. It's not going to win any awards. It's not the most tight plot you've ever seen, but the action rocks. There's some good laughs, and I enjoyed myself throughout the movie. The director for this one's David Ayer. Mikey's going to love this. This guy directed Fury, so you're going to get some good action in there.
I love Fury.
So that's going to be my popcorn pick. Not a whole lot to it, but if you're looking for a movie, it just came out, just got to streaming. Somebody I knew had rented it, so they just, tossed it over my way. The other thing I really want to quickly swallow is just Curb. This season is so good. I love the way it's setting up towards the end here. Looks like, Larry's going to go to court, kind of maybe a little bit of a Seinfeld final season 2.0 finish, which is just so Larry David, so meta.
Really fuck you.
Yeah, everything about this season. And then, a quick shout out to Richard,
R.I.P.
too. Yeah, I don't think we've mentioned him today. He was looking a little worse for wear in the last episode. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. But, if you're not watching the new season of Curb or just haven't gotten to it yet, definitely tap in. Got my girlfriend on it. Originally, she wasn't really too big into Curb because it is, just like it is a unique sense of humor.
It's a dude show for the most part.
I think now that she's kind of starting to get, Larry's shtick, she's all in. She's like, I don't think she got it at first because she's like, I don't really like Larry. Like, he's not really like.
Well, I think
dude. I'm like, that's
Yaz might be like Yaz is like such a happy person that like you have to go through some shit like in the real world to like start to like understand the frustration, because that's part of like why Larry is so like lovable, is because he is like, I wish I could do that. Like he's this cathartic character on screen where you're like, you know what, he's like saying it for all of us. Like the line cutting thing, like it happens all the time, and you want to say something but you usually don't. He's like, you can't fucking chat and cut. Like I invented the chat and cut, and it's just all of like these little like. Just
unapologetically himself.
He said,
exactly.
I love women. I love having sex with women. I'm a champion for women.
He's just.
Have you guys seen those videos of Curb Your Enthusiasm in real life, where it's like Larry David, somebody caught him having a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment?
Yep.
I recently saw one, where he was waiting for there was construction going on, backing up all the cars. Turner, sounds like you saw it too. He gets out of his car, becomes the champion for the car line behind him. He's like, "What's going on up there? We're all supposed to go another route. This is real life." Yeah, there was just
that's awesome.
Standing by, just like videoing. It's the best art imitating life. Curb Your Enthusiasm rocks.
Great show, one of my favorites. All right, Mikey, what is your popcorn pick this week?
So my popcorn pick is it's not a movie, but a movie experience. For the first time, now it's funny that you talked about this at the beginning, Mr. Running Back Jones, how this guy's playing the bugle or whatever at the beginning of the movie theater, and just this little song and
Yeah.
adds the experience. So in LA, unfortunately, that guy doesn't travel that far out to LA. We don't get a trumpet, performance. But when I saw Dune, Dune 2, we balled out and went to one of these. I don't know if they haven't been, where you guys are, but one of these like top tier movie theaters. So
4DX?
this thing, no, it's not even the screen. You get like this whole couch, this recliner like couch. I've never had this where they come out and actually you can order food and drink in the movie. Have you ever done this,
This is a novelty, dude. Yes, we have these. This is
Okay, so
I
I
some
never-
like
but not the
grass
couches.
prairie
Oh, I
land
didn't mean.
without
I didn't-
movie theaters.
Wait,
Yes,
not
you
the couches, though.
So I didn't know. I didn't know.
Like,
Wait,
is
wait.
this like-
I-
is this a
couch.
couch or is it an individual seat? Like, is it one person?
recliner.
No, I was with someone else. It was a reclining couch. It was
Oh.
insane. Like this thing,
Okay,
there
so
was
we've-
only, there
Hand
are
up. We
pairs
don't
of,
have that.
okay, so you walk into this place and there's only like 20 seats. There's 10 pairs of 2's. You got to go with a girl or a date or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You can't
it's
go with
this,
the boy.
it's this huge couch, this comfy
could.
as fuck that you like sink into. You recline, and you can recline back as far and wherever you want because everybody's like 5 feet away from you. People probably banging.
Yeah.
And it's the comfy. I feel like I'm in my living room. It's comfier than this dog shit Airbnb couch. And then the people before the movie, not when the movie is going, because you don't want to hear talking. They come before you. Hey, listen, you want to grab a couple drinks, so you'll have it throughout the movie. Here's our menu. I had no idea. I was like, what do you mean menu? Like I thought it was just gonna be like snow caps and Nerds clusters. I got this like spicy chicken
Okay.
sandwich that was gas. Like one of the best chicken sandwiches I've ever had. With like a couple John Daly's, a little, the spiked lemonades. And dude, it made the movie. I was like, I'm never going to AMC ever again. Like this is because I saw it at AMC and then we went out. It like made the movie like I was at home, but with obviously a fucking, IMAX level movie theater screen. I'm eating this sandwich. I'm drinking. I'm getting a little buzz on. I'm like leaned back. Like I'm in heaven. Like in the comfiest couch I've ever sat on. Insane. Changed the whole movie experience. I wish I could go back and watch, pretty much every movie I've ever watched in theaters at this I think it's called iPick or some crazy. I mean, they don't need the plugs. They're loaded. It only cost me fucking $300 for fucking 2 movie tickets and food. And
How do you feel about bringing blankets into movie theaters?
that's pretty gay.
We've had this
or not,
discussion on
or-
the pod before. The Iron Claw incident.
I don't know if I would bring. I mean, because what are you going to walk from the parking lot with your little, blankie? I guess that's just me fearing
preferably
judgment.
the
but
girl brings
The
the
girl
blanket
brings
in.
the blanket.
You don't have to have that. Yeah.
But my point
oh,
here,
the
Mike,
oh
is-
the people give it to you like on an airplane.
No, well, that'd be sick. That would be
No.
cool. But no,
I've
your
bought
date
I
brings
have-
the blanket.
my point.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
you're not carrying it in. Your
My-
hands are wiped away clean on
Then
that.
Then I'm good. Give me the blanket.
Yeah.
Snuggle me up.
My point, Mike, is
I
like,
want to be
if
as
I'm-
comfy as possible.
If I'm laying down in a couch, I love the idea of just laying out in a couch, but I feel like a little
It was
exposed without that blanket. It's like kind of like, what do I,
You're right.
I feel like that
but
always does lead to some funny business, though. Not that I ever brought a blanket in, but you just
We're
put
all
two and
about
two
funny
together.
business.
What are you doing
Yeah.
under there? What are you doing
Yeah,
under there?
nothing. We're up to.
But
no
at
good
least,
under the
at least I don't know. You're doing
Yeah,
it in
and
the
the-
confines of your blanket. It's all.
I would
good
never
over here.
bring
Yeah,
a
dude,
blanket
in
to the
the-
theater, but I did buy one. I brought a Cinemark blanket, not because I wanted
Wow.
it, because one of my dates wanted it, and I was like, "That's kind of gay." So but like you guys said, like usually the girl brings it in.
Did you blow you? If you're buying a blanket, you better get some.
You know what's
kind of
funny
action.
is we saw the movie Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, and we were the only ones in the theater. I'm not going to reveal who it was. I think you guys can date
Oh,
it,
that's
Turnberg, and
lit.
figure out who it was. And she was like, "Let's just fuck in this theater right now." I'm like, "Absolutely not. Like, not a chance. That is not my vibe. I'm watching this
Yeah,
movie.
I would be stressed.
It's a solid 2.5 stars. I gotta finish it. It's like
I don't think I'd be able to bang in a movie theater. I don't think I'd be able to get it up. I wouldn't. I would be so. It's like Roadhead. Like whenever get roadhead, I can barely get hard because you're just like
so nervous.
You're trying to fucking.
My head goes to the worst thing. It's like if I get in an accident, you're gonna bite my dick off and you're gonna be decapitated. Like we're both
and you can't even enjoy it
to us.
Yeah,
two heads,
different things.
But yeah, that
yeah, Berg's like I can't keep it down when I'm driving.
Yeah, you're an extra 2 inches with roadhead. Your adrenaline is coursing through the veins. But yeah, this movie theater, man, I don't know. Like Ralph, when you come to LA or you got it, it was a different. It was like I was like, holy fuck, I've been doing it wrong. Because I already everybody loves going to the movies so much already. But when I'm getting food and drinks and just the whole comfort, like, and yeah, it was weird because there's only like 10, like the people next to you are like 5 or 10 feet away with their own little kind of like, Kanye West orb thing. Like, it's like, it was the coolest thing. So yeah, if that is in your area, man, it was maybe an extra, maybe $10-15 for the ticket. But I mean, dude, worth it. It's like flying coach to flying first class. Like you're just like, oh shit, like I've been doing it wrong this whole time. And yeah, I don't know if you guys, you maybe trade off the bugle player for a couch. I don't know which one you'd want, but I haven't experienced the bugle, but right now I'm leaning towards the couch and the spicy chicken sandwich because wow,
I like the idea.
It changed everything, man. Yeah, the only bad thing I would say was I slammed like 3 drinks and I completely forgot that no one's pausing the movie for me when I go up. Can you just get pause real quick? So I yeah, dude, like the whole scene, like he's about to kill Austin Butler, and I'm like, fuck, I got it. But there's no way you're walking out in the last 30. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't prep for that because I was just I was like, what do you mean you're bringing out? I was like, like this is crazy. So yeah, if that's go to the bougie theater, man.
You just held it. You held it the whole time.
Oh yeah, there was. I mean, what am I gonna?
Good man.
You can't.
No, you got to do that.
Yeah, especially maybe if it's within, the first, but you like as the movie's coming to close and they're invading the Arrakis and there's no way I'm stepping out for a 2 minute. Exactly. Yeah.
You walk back. What the hell's going on? Fade Rotha's no longer here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine if I missed Austin Butler getting stabbed. I would have been so pissed. But yeah, man, that was fucking awesome. Like if that is near you guys, just go for like I don't even know you would type in just like upscale move, but that shit rocked. Have you ever been to one of those where they serve you food?
Oh yeah.
I've been to Flick's Brewery. I like to see we went to see The Shining on Halloween. And they'll come and serve you food and drinks, like really comfortable recliners.
That's
our friend
so
Aaron,
cool.
who was just on the Dune Part Two pod, like that's his preferred theater. I can't stand, however, when somebody whispers even in the theater or like walks by like the screen. I know they're ducking. I know they're like trained to like duck and stuff like that. It's my first time seeing a movie. I can't stand that. If it's The Shining, which I've seen 15, 20 times or whatever, then it's like, yeah, I've seen this before. You can walk in front of me.
Yeah, it takes out of the moment for a sec.
But if it's Dune Part 2, the first time I'm seeing it, I'm seeing it in the theater. Like, if I had it my preferred way, I would see it alone in the theater. I could rent out the entire place. I wouldn't have anybody near me. It would just be me in the movie. But
what I've heard is a new ad from these theaters is heaters in the recliners.
Mm-hmm.
I bet mine had that. I didn't even know. I didn't even look for any buttons.
Did you have like any like sanitary issues? Because like it does sound really comfy in there. And there's got to be some times where people are like, "It's just us. Why not?" Like
yeah. I thought it's so funny you say that because I thought about it because I'm laying on this couch, just like sprawled out like I'm at home, and I was like, "Man, like this is a little bit kind of weird that like thousands of people probably just sprawled out right here, just kind of farting, just fucking kissing, making it, whatever." But it quickly went away when I was the pros outweigh the cons. That's like a perfect way to put it. I was just shocked because I just usually always go. There's just like a AMC because you do the Fandango app and whatever's closest. But this place slapped, man. This changed. It made the movie even better. It was the girl was fucking. This is the first time that she had ever bet. She was like, "What?" I was like, "I didn't know they fucking had sandwiches either. Like this is like fuck it." Give me one. It was $80, but fuck it, you
The
know.
food there is usually pretty good too. Flicks has good food. I will give them that.
Yeah,
So,
it slapped. So
but I'm
yeah,
just
that
a
was-
movie
that
theater
was-
popcorn
If you're
guy.
going crazy about it now, think about how little Midwesterners are going in Des Moines when they're like, holy shit, we can eat and watch the food. Mine was blown.
Yeah,
It is nice. But I'm MTP guy. MTP loyalist. If I'm in a movie, all I need is popcorn.
MTP?
Movie theater
Oh.
popcorn, dog. Top 5. You know this. Come on.
Yeah, the popcorn
Okay.
slap.
All right.
Okay.
You
Did
knew
you
this,
did
dude.
you like fucking your Dune little popcorn
didn't
thing
get-
every time you
that's
went in and out?
That's only
Oh,
at
you
AMC.
got it with the straw.
That's only at AMC. I didn't get the Dune bucket. I joked on the
Ooh,
pod
I
that
also
I
had
had
these
3 of
little.
them.
I had these little because there's certain snacks that are like only movie theater snacks, like snow caps. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
like, you don't buy snow caps on a road trip. You probably
No.
that just like screams you kill people. But these little chocolate. You ever had those little chocolate cookie dough bites? I
Yeah.
see those every time at those slapped.
Are those good? Okay.
Slapped. Oh my! I don't know if it was just because I was in a recliner, but that's like my new. I slammed a whole bag of those before fucking worst stomach ache ever.
Oh, for
You
three
brought up
pound
snow
dailies?
caps like 3 times now. I don't think I've ever had snow caps.
I haven't
Not
either.
that
Do
great.
they
I've just
sell
seen
these
them.
everywhere?
Yeah,
Just movie
I
theaters.
would get them. Yeah, it's like I would get them like just to kind of try them, but they kind of suck. Like I'm a big sour guy. Always get a bucket of
Yeah.
movie theater popcorn, and then
Of
these
course.
little cookie dough bites. Oh my god, I'm a big cookie dough guy. But yeah, it was awesome.
All right. Well, that was beautiful. Good job by you guys. This was fun. We'll be back next week talking again. Hopefully, we have some Oscars to talk. So yeah, we'll be back next Thursday
Oh,
for
yeah.
everybody. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. We will see you on the other side. Make sure you're following us on socials. Peace out.